Hello everyone, so it is time for day 2 of my 12 days of Christmas nail art challenge. And the first thing I'm going to do, I've put on my acrylics because I had to redo them, and I am going to put on 2 coats of, see if it will focus. The camera will work. I don't know what it's focusing on. Anyway, it's glass pink. I'm not going to sit here and wait on it. So, I have, this has been Franken polished a little bit. I've added a little bit of different things. Okay, sorry about that. So, I'm just going to sit here and put two coats of this glass pink, and like I said, I've Franken polished this a little bit. All I really did was I added a little bit of a darker pink into the original glass pink so that it was a little bit more opaque. Not a ton more opaque. It's pretty close to what the original was, but I like the shimmer and the sparkle in this. So I will be back once I have my 2 coats on. Okay. So my glass pink is pretty well dry. Now I'm going to come in with Snowy White, and I am going to do a basic French. And sometimes I use templates, the whole binder ring thing or the lines, but I am just going to attempt to freehand it today, which should be even better with the camera in front. So all I'm going to do is just kind of use since I've got clear acrylic on, I can kind of see where the white would normally be. And I'm just going to kind of put it in. And it doesn't need to be perfect. This is all for fun anyway. So, I might have to come back and give it a second coat. We'll see. And that's my puppy thundering down the stairs. So we're just going... No, you guys can't see that one. Let's move into frame. Come across here. Like so. Try that one more time. Let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit. No, that's too far. There we go. So, we're just going to, and that's way too much paint, get rid of some of that. Bring that around here, like so. And because I've forgotten it on the last 2, don't forget to cap your nail so that the paint lasts a little bit longer. And because I have so much on here, we're gonna go back here one more time and take some of that off, because otherwise I'll be up all night tonight. And I do have to go to work in the morning, so the idea is not to be up all night. I want to do a pretty nail design and still be in bed before midnight, ideally. Although, if I'm not in bed by midnight, it's not the end of the world, but you know what I mean. So I am going to finish doing my French, and I'll be back when I'm ready. Okay, so the white is fairly dry, so now I'm going to add a little detail work before I get to the good nail art. And I'm going to take this brush that I got from the dollar store. My camera will focus. It's really not wanting to focus today. Let's zoom out. This is the Sassy and Chic 3-in-1 that I got at the dollar store. And the beautiful thing about this is it's a brush and a pen. So we're going to use the pen, and we're going to again try to do this around the camera. So all I'm going to do is just kind of do a silver band like so. Let's see if we can like that. The camera really doesn't want to focus today. So that's kind of the look we're going for. Do another one, and I just start at one side and I just kind of both rotate my finger and the pen. And it is much easier to rotate your finger than the pen. So it just adds a very nice little detail. Now comes the fun part, where I always have more problems doing my opposite hand. So I find when I'm doing my dominant hand that my best bet is to just go slowly and not to try and rush, because you just have more problems when you try and rush. And this is always where I have more problems, but everybody does. And my thumb is the hardest one. I can usually, after I get my thumb done, I usually can do the rest of the fingers okay. If I just concentrate, and you know, and the thing I would say to remember is that it does not need to be perfect. You're hand painting them, and nobody notices as many problems as you do. And the minute you spend that much time being obsessed is when it stops being fun. And the whole point of nail art is for it to be fun. And if it's a chore, it's not fun. So, I don't let it be a chore. And, you know, that's the whole point. So, see, it doesn't take that long to do this step. It's a little bit more tricky because I can't see with the camera very well. And this is my non-dominant hand that I'm trying to paint with, but we'll get it. So, put the cap back on. That's the look, and when this gets dry, I'll come back with the next step. Okay, so I'm back, and let's see if we can get the camera to focus. I have 1 Corinthians 13:13 written on my thumb, which is the verse. And now we're going to write the faith, hope, and charity. Well, we're going to attempt to write it anyway. So I'm once again using the Sassy plus Chic 3-in-1 nail art pen. And sorry for the camera wiggling, but I have to kind of balance showing you guys what I'm doing and being able to see what I'm doing, because writing on your fingernails is not easy. So this nail, my pointer finger, is going to be faith. So I'm gonna try and put this on here as nicely. And I'm going to dot the I with a rhinestone later. You know what? That's too thick. I don't like that. Rip that off a little bit. Let's try that again. My F was pretty good, but the rest of it was a little thick. So let's see if I can. This is faith, and this nail is going to say hope. Oh yeah, that's too big. Okay. No, I didn't like that either. There's only so many times you can redo this, because it's starting, well, it is peeling off the other paint below. And use, you know what, I can make that, fix that later. Now, the charity is where it's going to get interesting. So, we're going to put the I in the middle of the name. And we'll put the T and the Y. And we'll put the R next. And I am not going to fit it in there the way I'm writing. So, let's try writing a little smaller. Yeah, it's not going to fit. My handwriting is not that neat, and my nail's not that long. So let's just write love instead, because most of the versions use love and charity differently. And then I'm going to leave my pinky alone. Now, I'm going to let that dry a little bit before I even try and muck with my other hand. Because otherwise, I'm just going to smear this. Okay, so I've taken a black pen liner and I've come back through and I've highlighted all the words so it's black with the gold under it, which makes it much easier to read. And since I really want the meaning to come across, now on this hand we're going to do a little art that goes with. So my thumb isn't going to have anything on it. I have 1 Corinthians over here, so I'm not going to do anything to my thumb. Now, faith. I am just going to do a very simple cross. And I think I'm going to do the cross in rhinestones. So, yeah, I'm just going to do a very simple cross in rhinestones. So, actually, I'm going to pause one more time, and I'm going to go get a toothpick to get the... Okay, so I'm back, and I'm just going to take a little top coat, and this is just my Seche Vite fast drying top coat, and I'm just going to kind of, well, basically I'm just going to put a coat on, because it's just easier to put a coat on than deal with it. Now, what did I do with my toothpick? I just had it. Did it roll someplace? Oh, just not my night. I just had it. And there rolls the cap. Oh, yep, it rolled off. There's my toothpick. Okay. So let's move the top coat up here. I'm going to put just a little bit more on my nail, because I'm sure after the whole looking for the toothpick fiasco, and then I want to just kind of dip my toothpick in a little bit. This is always entertaining when I try and do this. Alright, so I'm just going to go blind trying to see what I'm doing. These tiny little rhinestones are so small and hard to see. I'm actually going to put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. Because right now, I can't see. And now I lost my toothpick again. Oh, it's a comedy of errors. Okay. Let's get a little more top coat on the little toothpick. Let's get this rhinestone flipped over and in line with the others. Straight line would be my preference. And already this sheet's getting pretty dry. And a silly little crystal doesn't want to come off onto my nail. Alright, it's pretty close to center. So just, yep, toothpick's dry now. Okay. Now, that's more of a bullseye, X, whatever. So I need to add a few more to the base for it to actually look like a cross. And I'm just going to cut one more. My camera just really does not want to focus today. At all. So, it's a little crooked, but actually, no, I'm just holding my finger crooked. So, that's my cross for faith. Now, for hope, I'm going to do a candle light. So, I'm going to take this Art Deco in... Seriously, why will my camera not focus tonight? Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and wait on it. This is red glitter from LA Colors. And I'm trying to be very careful and not muck up any other nail design. And basically, all I'm going to do, so I don't want much paint, is I'm just going to paint basically a red square for a candle. It doesn't need to be perfect, like I said, but I basically want it to be like a red pillar. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and then I'll come back to it. Actually, why am I closing the red? And for love, we're going to do a heart, which should be highly entertaining to watch me paint a heart on my on my dominant hand. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do this. Alright. Not much paint because that's just going to make it messy. And we're going to just kind of come in here. Okay, I need more paint than just that. Alright. Kind of heart-shaped. So, to make it look so much better, we're going to fill it in carefully. Always so interesting. I really love this red glitter though. So Christmassy. Alright. Kind of a crooked, lopsided heart, but it's a heart. Alright. So we're going to let all that dry a bit. And then, well actually, the next part on this hand I could do. I'm going to take the gold, because I'm not going to bother going and finding a yellow. And very carefully, I'm just going to add a bit of a flame. Just want, because hope burns bright, and that's what we're trying to symbolize. Now I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to come back in with my black, and I'm going to outline everything and give everything a little bit more definition. So, okay, even though the camera won't focus tonight, I am going to come in with my black little pen. I have gone ahead and top coated, well, one layer of top coat anyway, and put in my crystal for the eye in Faith. Now, I just want to come in here and get all the excess off. I don't want a ton. I just want to come in here and very lightly if I can get any to come out. very lightly, as best as I can. And that just kind of makes my cross pop just a little bit more. And then for my candle, I'm not actually going to outline it. I just want to add the wick. And you can't see that very well. I don't know what's up with my camera tonight. And then the heart, we're just going to very lightly outline the heart. Which is easier said than done. Okay. Now, once it dries and I get a top coat on it, it should look good. And the last thing I'm going to put on, let me give it a little bit of a shake, is I'm going to put on the Northern Lights by Out the Door. It's a really pretty top coat, and it has just this little bit of glitter, and it's just so pretty as top coat. Anyway, once I get the top coats all done, I will put a picture. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this inspires you to try your own. Okay, so I've come into my kitchen where there's better lighting, and hopefully you can see. Still not great, but my heart, which smeared a little bit, you can see the tiniest little bit of pink on the white. And then my candle and my cross. And we have, see, the words are much easier to read. Faith, hope, and love. And the 1 Corinthians 13:13. So, I am going to attempt to get some pictures, which should be highly entertaining. And I'm going to post this video. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.